Hey guys, this is Mathew Cooper coming to you with a review of the new Harry Potter film, Fantastic Beasts and the Crimes of Grindelwald. This is the second film in the Fantastic Beasts series, and I believe the 10th film in the Harry Potter universe as they're marketing it now. The way I like to do these reviews is basically not spoil anything significant about the movie and hope that you as the audience member, come away with an idea of whether or not you should see the movie. And yeah, I think that you should see this movie. It's not incredible and it's not terrible. The best thing I could say about this movie is when it works, it really, really works. Especially the first hour, I thought was really captivating. I did not, full disclosure, I did not enjoy the first Fantastic Beasts film. I thought it was very boring and bland and sort of lacked a lot of heart that we had become accustomed to with the Harry Potter film franchises. This one has more heart. It had a sense of purpose and belonging, which the first film I never felt had. The first film always felt like it just was a cynical cash grab. Whereas this one knows it's a cynical cash grab and they're doing their best to also actually bring something to the table on top of just layering in the Harry Potter name. So what works about it? Eddie Redmayne is frankly awesome in the lead role. Jude Law is great as a young Dumbledore. Actually, I was really nervous going in. I was expecting it to be very fan servicey and very plotting with him, but he actually had a nice little. He didn't have a character arc. He had more of cameos, but I thought Jude Law's performance was really good, and I actually enjoyed getting to see a young Dumbledore. It's fun to see like young characters that you're familiar with and what they're up to in their formative years. Johnny Depp was the best villain I've seen in a while, which is weird to say. I thought he would be the worst part of the movie. He was great. He wasn't the best part of the movie. I actually think Eddie Redmayne was really fantastic in the role, but Johnny Depp's Grindelwald was layered. He was interesting. He wasn't overacted. He was absurd, but he was absurdly charismatic in a way that I actually understood why people followed him. I think that's the greatest achievement this film had was the original Harry Potter films with Voldemort, right? It was this battle of good and evil, but it never really got any deeper than that. Sure, they tried to layer it with ideology and philosophical ideas, but ultimately it really just came down to like Voldemort's evil and Harry's good, and that's all you need to know. And what they did with Grindelwald was and I will say this without doing any spoilers, they make you understand where he's coming from, and until something happens, where he comes from is a solid place. It's a solid stance to have. If this was like a debate, his philosophy on magic users and wizards and muggles, I can see his side of it. I don't know that I would take his side of it, but I certainly wouldn't. I wouldn't view anyone differently for agreeing with him. So I thought that was a really incredible thing that they did. In terms of like supporting cast, I thought the players of Jacob, of Tina, and of Queenie were all good. The thing this movie suffers from is it's just overstuffed. You've got Ezra Miller in there as some ridiculous name. You've got Nagini in there as Nagini. I don't even think they give you the first name of it. Credence. Credence is the name of the character that Ezra Miller plays. Ezra Miller's really good. He's just sort of... I don't think he has any idea what character he's playing, which is sort of a big plot thread throughout the movie, so I guess his performance is spot on in that regard. But he seems sort of confused in all of his scenes. So the Lestranges have a big part in this film, and that's all I'll say. And yeah, I mean, I think the supporting cast is good. Like I said in the beginning, when the film works, the film really works. The problem is when the film doesn't work, it really doesn't work. There was a solid 10-minute period where I really was laughing to myself, not at like how absurd what I was watching was, but how little I was able to follow it. I'm a pretty avid movie fan, and so when something really loses me the way that a certain scene that goes on for a long time did in this movie, it really makes you second guess the director and the studio's decision. And that's something that David Yates probably doesn't care about. I think he's directed 7 or 8 of these Harry Potter movies, and I think he's at the point where he kind of gets his check, and the studio knows what to expect out of him. He's going to come in under budget and on time, and that's all that really matters. I will say that some of the camera work in this film I thought was exceptional, and some of it was awful, specifically some of the scenes when they go back to Hogwarts. Cinematography was hit or miss. The CGI was really good. I thought that Newt's animals, the companions, the Fantastic Beasts, were awesome. It's probably my second favorite part of this movie, behind the Johnny Depp and Newt storylines. But I guess in closing, I'll say this: that I don't know that these movies have any idea why they exist. That's the through line that comes to me. I watched this movie, and I really did enjoy a lot of aspects of it. And when it ended, I said, yeah, I am pumped to see what comes next. And people that listen to this will know what I mean once you see the film. But the fact that I was only excited to see what comes next by the end of the second film in the franchise is not good. The studio is not doing their job in convincing me, the consumer, of why I should be running out to see their movie, other than the fact that it's got Harry Potter attached to it. And that sort of answers its own question, because that is why people are going to run out to see this movie, whether it's good or bad. Luckily, I can say it's good. I really would recommend people go see this. I think that you'll smile throughout it. I think you'll enjoy it, and I think you will definitely roll your eyes at quite a few sequences. But that's the decision-making that they went with, and they created sort of a messy, muddled, fun adventure with pretty interesting characters and surprisingly philosophical depth, especially towards the end of the film. So yeah, I would definitely tell you, go out and watch Fantastic Beasts: The Crimes of Grindelwald. And for all other news, keep your eyes and ears locked to the Nerdy Bunch. Keep it nerdy, fellas. Have a good one.